Have you ever wanted to create your own handicapping dream team? You can now build your own superstar handicapping lineup using our Pick Your Team program at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Even more exciting, until Sunday, January 16th at midnight, you can save 15% off your Pick Your Team using coupon code PYT15 when checking out. Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo, and Ralph Michaels, John Ryan, Joseph D'Amico, and Rocketman. The combinations are endless, and you can choose up to 5 handicappers. You start saving once you choose any 2 handicappers of your choice, and you can pay as little as under $6 per handicapper. Who will make your dream lineup? Just go to WagerTalk or Sports Memo, click Pick Your Team, and personally hand select your handicapping roster. Don't forget, coupon code PYT15 will expire January 16th, so make sure to get your 15% discount.
Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. I am Lawrence Presman, coming off of a 3-1 Monday. Cashed my NFL. He's Teddy Covers. How did you do, brother?
I went 1-2 last night, Lawrence. Not as good as you, unfortunately.
Okay, well, you're going to kill it tonight. $2 Tuesday. We'll talk about that in a sec. Tony Mejia joining us right off the top. He's going to talk Providence Marquette, Suns, Pelicans. We got Matt Joseph for a visit. He's going to look at the LSU Kansas State game, Air Force Colorado State, and Toledo Central Michigan. And, of course, Sharapan at the end of the show. I got a bunch of questions. Teddy, I want to talk to Dave about how to attack this final week of the NFL. So many games are meaningless. It's going to be fun to ask him those type of questions. Dude, what did you learn in the wonderful world of sports betting last night?
We got to talk about the line move for the Steelers-Browns, because we're going to see more of that over the course of Week 18. At 4:30 p.m. Pacific on Sunday, 7:30 for you guys back east, the Steelers were +3 against the Browns. That was 4:30 Pacific. By 5:30, the line was pick'em. By 8:30, the Steelers were -3 on Sunday night. Then it was -2.5 on game day, and then back down to -1 at 4 o'clock, and to +1 at 5 o'clock, and as high as +2 at kickoff. So that's moving 6 points one way and then 5 points back the other. This will not be the only insane betting game. Of course, It didn't matter where you got the Steelers or where you got the Browns last night. It made no difference between winning or losing. Pittsburgh winning by 12 points in that ball game. But there will be a game this weekend or two where getting the best of the number makes all the difference. It's not going to be the only insane betting game in Week 18. And I know it was the last game of Week 17, but you get my point. Betting markets overreact to everything this week, and they move fast. So what did we learn last night? Reinforced a point. If you're going to look to get the best of the number in Week 18 of the NFL, be by your phone, be by your computer. What about you, Prez? What did you learn last night?
Well, I learned SOH is a word in Scrabble. I hooked it off of the OH, landed a triple word score with a Q, and kicked my woman's butt. All the while, I had 2 NBA games on and the NFL game. So what did I learn last night, Teddy? I learned that I'm a multitasking winning machine, baby. Tony Mejia joining us. Tony, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
You want no part of me on Words with Friends. I promise you that.
Okay, I play Scrabble. Words with Friends is the same, but it's not. But you can put it anywhere. Like there's no squares, right?
No, of course not. It's Scrabble. Words with Friends is basically Scrabble.
Oh. Okay, well, yes, I want, Tony, I want no part of you, because in all seriousness, I stink in Scrabble. I have broken 400 once, but I mean, like, I got a buddy who gets into the 600s. So, yeah, I understand my limitations. What are you, some kind of master?
Well, I mean, just writing, but no, what I do is it helps me unwind right before bed. So I play multiple games. I always have games going, and it's like the last thing I do before falling asleep, because even after unwinding after games, you know how that is. You still got to go to bed, and then you need about 10, 15 minutes before you drift off. So that's what I do to board the
I
public.
do women. Women. So,
Nice.
I find it an effective way to wind down. Teddy tried it once a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I was on the show the day after. Good job, Teddy.
You're the guy that brings out the worst in us. Okay, dude. Providence Marquette. How we handicapping this game?
Well, this is a wild game because it appears that all the betting markets and the sharps are going Marquette at home and not believing at all in Providence. So that number has gone from Providence laying 2 to now getting 1.5. And this will be one of my better plays on my package that's available at WagerTalk right now. But it's not a 4% play. So for all our viewers, this is a 3% play for free. Look, the experience that Providence brings to the table is remarkable. Like they've got over 527 college games of experience in their starting lineup, all graduate seniors, because this is the COVID environment. So a lot of transfers, and they are 3-0 in Big East play for the second time in 3 years. Marquette has got a relatively young squad. Yes, they're home, but they're 0-3 in Big East play. And I think that people are fading Providence just on the fact that they've been a little brother in the Big East for as long as I've been alive, really. I mean, you've got to go way back to Billy McCaffrey and Rick Pitino for them to be great. Exactly. So I grew up a St. John's fan in New York, so we used to love Providence. I did love Eric Murdoch, but we used to count Providence as a victory. Ed Cooley's had success there. He's actually going for his 300th win tonight. But it's really the Friars are always on the bubble and whatnot. But this particular team has a lot of talent. Marquette does, and Shaka Smart is just building his foundation there. And the last time Smart hooked up with Providence and Ed Cooley, they got destroyed, 70-48. That was at the Dunkin' Donuts Center, but he was in there with Texas, a nationally ranked team that came in 9-1, and they just got destroyed. So Ed Cooley clearly has some idea as to how to handle Smart's defense and pressures.
So I want to ask you this: this is one of these college basketball handicapping 101 questions. All right, we have Providence, who has exceeded all expectations this season, and it feels in many sense like living a little bit on borrowed time. They've been on the lucky end of a lot of games of these decisions. And Marquette's been on the unlucky. And certainly during this 4-game skid, Marquette's been more unlucky than any other factor leading to those losses. The market's going crazy for the Golden Eagles this morning. Nothing but Marquette money. It's the must-win game when Providence played on Saturday. And yet, all the Friars keep doing is winning games and covering point spreads. We're going to see this across conferences over the course of the next couple of weeks, where the markets get very excited about teams in their, quote, must-win game at home after losing a couple in the conference opener, losing a couple to open the conference play. Is this something that you look for? And is this a play that's kind of based on this theory that the markets just go too crazy over the must-win teams in January when maybe they're not good enough to win?
Teddy, it's something I obviously take into account, but no, of course not. It's not the end-all be-all. The betting markets are, very often wrong, and we're in unique times. We're in a situation of the last year plus where games can be canceled at the drop of a hat, and practices have been spotty and whatnot. So I'm looking at individual matchups and things that I like. I like the fact that Providence goes on the road with a team that has an average age of 22. And is experienced and should be able to handle this and has success and has matchups that favor them in this contest, because Marquette's going to struggle to stop Nate Watson. Half the betting markets are just betting Marquette to bet Marquette. The Friars have beaten, or they're 4-0 against quad one teams, so it's not like this is invented. Can the Friars lose tonight? Absolutely, but in these unique times, especially since you can really drop your dime sparingly because of how tenuous everything is, you just have to go with your gut on what you like and what you want to see in a team, because bottom line is, it doesn't matter what the betting market said at 10 a.m. This will close right around 11 o'clock, and Eastern time, and who's got the ball down the stretch in a tie game with 3 minutes to go. Who you trusting? I trust the Providence Friars tonight.
I trust me. Yes, I was a terrible hoops player. Teddy, what was your sport in high school?
In high school? No.
Whatever.
I played sports. We played a lot of everything. I played basketball. I played football. I played baseball. But in terms of organized team sports, I played none of them by high school.
You, Tony, what did you do? Football. You almost made it. You blew your knee.
No, I'm a basketball guy. I played for 20 years until I blew my Achilles at 39 or 40, 41.
Oh,
40, no, I was 40. I was in my 40s.
Right in your draft year. That's
right.
Teddy, Tony Mejia is a high volume handicapper. It's not a rare day where Tony has 30 plays in one day.
Okay.
Why? It's the inserting. Everything, I have no problem with high volume handicappers. If you got an edge, you got an edge. Mm-hmm. To think that you have to put all of those plays into the back end of the WagerTalk system makes me want to shoot myself in the head. How long does it take? And do you write analysis with every single play?
I sure do. As people can look at our last 20 plays, you'll see analysis written for everything. Here's the point on this. And I say this to people who reach out on DM, and obviously my 5% plays are my best plays, and they've been, my marquee thing here at WagerTalk. But if you're sitting there and you're a sports bettor or a sports, somebody that follows, and you don't agree with one of my plays, or you care not for one of my plays, well, then I got more for you. And it's like a big, robust menu. It's different sports. I'm just giving you an informed opinion.
No, but Tony,
go ahead.
Tony, how long does it take you to write analysis for 30 plays and then put them in the back end of our system? Oh my God. I'm like crying,
it's an all-day job.
Thinking about it.
It's an all-day job to prepare for shows, to do. I mean, like, you're constantly working. Grab a few hours of sleep and get up and continue what's on the to-do list.
Dude, I got one NHL play up tonight. It accompanies zero analysis. I barely write analysis for my one play. Tony Mejia, everyone. Him and Ralph. Oh, might be the hardest working people at WagerTalk. Let's get into the Suns-Pelicans game. We're only going to talk one. You pick. Suns-Pelicans, Kings-Lakers.
Let's pick Kings-Lakers just because it's more interesting. Russell Westbrook coming off a game where he had like 9 turnovers and defends himself afterwards saying, well, it doesn't matter how poorly I shoot or how much I turn over the ball. I'm a plus player. And everybody loves the Lakers. So what you got?
Teddy?
Well, what do I got? So I didn't get your. Who do you like in that game?
Yeah, that was so quick, dude.
I'm going to take the points with the Kings tonight against the Lakers. LA still figuring things out. They're using LeBron James as a small ball 5. Dwight Howard kind of out of the rotation. They're working in Stanley Johnson. It's a work in progress to the point where Frank Vogel, their head coach, is coming along and saying, well, I need to try and sample things because we're experimenting with some stuff. Well, experimenting and covering, what is it, an 8-9 point spread? It is, not something that I want to hear. And De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield both messed with me because I really liked the Heat in one of my first plays of 2022 to go into Sacramento and win and cover 3.5. And I wrote in my write-up, Fox and Hield have been really struggling. So as long as they didn't take any magic elixirs to start off 22 well, I really like this play. Well, both of them had really strong games, beat the Heat outright, and hopefully have things going. Buddy Hield, only Stephen Curry has more 3-pointers than him this season, and he's actually slumped.
So Sacramento, for me, is one of these teams, like every time they play a good game, you sort of expect them to play a bad game next time out. I've had more success with the Kings playing zigzag than I have trying to ride any Sacramento hot streaks. The Kings have played better ball of late. They've covered 3 of their last 4 contests. Do you think maybe Sacramento might actually be a team to ride right now, or is this just Lakers don't deserve to be in this point spread range?
Yeah, both. I mean, I think if you're going to hit the reset button to start a new year, guys like Fox and Hield, having undergone a coaching change and a tumultuous start to your season, that could really spark you. And the latter of what you said, Lakers don't deserve to be this high a favorite against anybody right now in the NBA, even with LeBron James playing at an extremely high level, as you know.
Tony Mejia, everyone. Tony, awesome stuff. We love having you on the show. What do you have to promote? Please don't list every bet that you're going to promote. We only have an hour, just in 20 seconds or less.
Okay, well, we've got a college basketball package up, should have an NBA package up later, and may dabble in that K-State Bowl against LSU. I'll have to see some late info.
Excellent stuff. Tony Mejia, everyone. Guys, Teddy, it's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. You, my friend, are the $2 Tuesday handicapper at WagerTalk. Tell us what you got going.
Sure. We have a very rare 5% big ticket play in the NBA. It's not often my number comes as far away from the point spread as this one did today. It stood out like a sore thumb. To me, hopefully it'll cash tonight. Been real good with those big ticket reports. 2-0 in the NBA this year. I don't pull out a lot of them. And 68% across all sports dating back to May with the 5% big ticket reports. You can pick that up right now over at WagerTalk.com. Only $2.
Yeah, it looks like Steve Merrill is the $2 handicapper as well. He's rolling. He's got 5% or 2 in the NBA. 7-1 run going in that. And Jay Money is joining us, and he's going to be on the show next Tuesday. So everyone put that down. It's going to be fun to talk NBA with him. $2 Tuesday handicapper, JM Sports over at Sports Memo. 5-unit NHL game of the month. He's on an 80% run. So check that out. $2 Tuesdays at Memo, $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk. Teddy, we always choose the hottest person for our $2 Tuesday handicapper at WagerTalk. There's never been a week where I haven't been the hottest person. I found out from Johnny, it's not by looks. It's by winning. So I thought I had it, man. I thought I was like, dude, I'm going to be $2 Tuesday every single Tuesday. I mean, Wealth Michaels might jump in there once every now and then. Teddy, you're so handsome. Some guy just called you an aging vegan Christian Bale in the chat room. And on that note, commercial break, everybody.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's go to the association for Tuesday night and talk about the Raptors and the Spurs. Right now, looking at the Wager Talk live odds screen, I'm seeing Toronto -7 at most locations. If you shop around, you can still find a -6.5 with the Raptors. Total, let's call it 224.5. Again, there is some variance there as well. Right now, this is a tale of two teams heading in opposite directions. I don't know how long this Spurs slump is going to last, but it's going on right now. And I think it stems from DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray's not a household name, even among serious NBA fans, but he's the Spurs' leading scorer, and they miss him during crunch time. He's had an outsized impact on their fortunes. 3 straight losses since he got hurt, and he's not a guy who moves the needle on the point spread. Their only cover during this 3-game skid came in a game where they were down by 14 with under 2 minutes to go and then went on a little run to get underneath the number. But it wasn't a game where they were competitive in, and it wasn't a game where they were in position to cover. Right now, San Antonio's going through a bit of a rough stretch. Toronto, on the other hand, they're as healthy as they've been all year. They've gotten just about everybody back. They're playing good basketball, both ends, for the Raptors over the last 2 games. Back-to-back wins. They're playing to get back to 500 for the first time since early November. I think Toronto gets it done tonight. This is chalk worth laying. Give me the Raptors minus the 7 against the Spurs. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Raptors minus 7, Teddy. Oh, my lordy. They're going to have to actually win to cover that. But yes, Spurs in a slump. Teddy, Matt Joseph joining us. I really like Matt. Matt, let's start right off the bat with last time you were on, you were paying $50 a month for J-Date. It wasn't going well. Any news on that front?
I was not paying $50 for J-Date because it's too much for the lack of Jewish women in my area. So no, that's incorrect. But no, we are still looking. It is 2022, and we're still in the same place we are in 2021.
Guys out there, anybody find Matt a beautiful Jewish woman a month of Matt's picks on the house?
Give him 3 months.
That's
man.
not a good deal. That's not a good deal, Matt. Yeah.
It's a great deal.
But you know what? A year of Matt's picks on the house. If you find, oh, really, Matt? You would, oh, really? So a woman is not important enough to you that you would not give away 1 year of free picks.
I
just
would
one person
do that. I would do that.
Okay. So there you go, everyone. Everyone work together. He has some criteria. We have discussed it. No shaitel required. Very few will understand that joke. Matt, let's go, brother. LSU, Kansas State, college football still around. How do we handicap this game?
Well, I mean, look, and we all know the story by now. LSU's down to whether it's 39 or 43 scholarship players. I mean, they're in dire straits. You look at this quarterback depth chart, there's a pair of walk-ons that are there and a wide receiver who I'm sure they'll use in some sort of wildcat and will do a lot of running and sorts. And you look, they're down to 2 scholarship running backs. A lot of their wide receivers are gone. The offensive line's intact, but behind them, if anybody gets hurt, there's some big issues. Well, the number's too far away, so I'm not going to worry about that. Last night I was able to get LSU under 20.5 team total. It was a little bit juicy, but that's fine. There's some 19.5s now with the plus actually on the under. This is a classic case of I don't know what LSU's motivation is for this game. And since the number is too far away for me right now, I'll take the team total under. Kansas State's defense has been pretty good. They've held 4 of their last 5 opponents at 20 points or less. I got 20.5. I still like it at 19.5. You could also go, some books offer alternative numbers, even for the team totals. And maybe if you want to pay a little bit more juice to get above that key number or get on that key number of 20, I just don't see LSU scoring a lot of points tonight. So I'll take advantage of their lack of offense and take their team total under.
So for whatever reason, it feels like I watched a lot of LSU this year, Matt. And this was never a team that was marching the ball up and down the field. They weren't putting together the 14-play, 80-yard drives. It was all about big plays for LSU all year. But it's a team that has playmakers on the outside. And K-State, from a speed standpoint, they might be lacking. Certainly on the defensive end against LSU. Does that concern you, LSU's big playability, when you're looking at the under 20.5 for this one?
It would, if the quarterback was there, or a quarterback was there that was scary for me. These guys are walk-ons who haven't thrown many passes at all, and B, the wide receiving core is not exactly all there either. And look, if Ed Orgeron was there, I'd be more worried. The team would be motivated. I think they, even with the short numbers, they play better. This is just one of those classic cases, especially early. If they're struggling, they're going 3 and out. Skylar Thompson looks like he's going to play for Kansas State, so I expect the Wildcats to score some points. If they get down big, this is one of those things where these kids are ready to go home. Getting that 20.5, 19.5, whatever it is, gives you 2 touchdowns and a couple of field goals. So I'm not as worried as I would be. Now, like if it was 17.5 or something like that, then you worry about garbage time late. But right now, I feel pretty comfortable with the team total under that. LSU is going to struggle no matter what today.
Matt Joseph joining us. You can find him at Sports Memo. And Matt, Joey86BU says he is the perfect girl for you. Listen, I would like to invite you back on Wager Talk Today next week, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you pick. We are going to run a date-a-thon for the entire show. So I want you to bring a change of clothing. Matt, one thing about me, dude, I don't care who I offend. The joke must be, I have to be true to the jokes. Like, wherever it takes me is where it takes me. And if you get caught in the middle of it, so be it. Air Force, Colorado State, you got a first half bet for us. What is it?
So, Colorado State's been off for a while, and it's been something I've kind of been watching as of late. The teams coming off of COVID pauses, when it's their own COVID pause. If it's their opponents, they're at least still practicing. When it's their own COVID pause, teams have somewhat struggled out of the gate. And the irony here is, if you go back to last year, February 6th, Colorado State played Wyoming. They did not play Air Force until the 27th. They had a 21-day layoff and had a bad Air Force team in their building last year, and they struggled early on in the first half. And I'm going to play once again. I'm going to take Air Force in the first half here. Air Force is not a good basketball team, but they're very slow. They play their style, and I think they could frustrate Colorado State here. Colorado State's a really good basketball team. They're a team that I'm hoping is going to dance in March. I'm going to play them because they've got the talent. They've got good coaching. But I think that with a team like Air Force who plays slowly and frustrates teams a little bit, I'll isolate the first half, and then I may even put a live bet in on Colorado State because I think once they get their legs under them and start getting into some sort of rhythm here in the second half, they'll pull away. So I might look at Air Force in the first half. If it's a close game, put a live bet in on Colorado State. They'll win this game by 20 points, but it may take them some time to do so.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the series history here, there's not much of a case for Air Force. Last year they beat them by 30 and 23. And I've got 6 straight covers for Colorado State in this series, and 8 wins in the last 10 meetings, covering every time they've won straight up. Conceptually, I like the idea of a first half play instead of a full game play. I guess my question is Air Force good enough? Because, I know they're coming off a big upset win over Utah State, but this team's been real dicey on the offensive end of the court all year. And we don't get the stops. They're getting smacked.
Yeah, I mean, it is a worry. And as you said, that's why we're looking at this thing in the first. I mean, if I could bet like a first 10 minutes, I would even try and bet like the first 10 minutes and take Air Force. It's just, if this was one of these teams that had this, they basically just roll the ball out there and go, then I'd be a little bit more concerned. But with the way Air Force plays, you have to be mentally prepared. And also, look, we've seen it a lot this year, and you guys know these teams coming off COVID pauses aren't 100% all there. I know we don't find out until like 5 minutes or 10 minutes before tip-off, but if Colorado State's missing a guy or two, I think that will also play into our favor. It's something to kind of watch. It's not infallible, that's for sure. One day it's winning, one day it's losing, but I'm just going to take a shot that Air Force frustrates Colorado State. By the way, both of those meetings last year, they did get killed, but both of them, they were in it in the first half. So I'll just take a shot here. It's a small play, but I think Air Force in the first half, it's about 10-11, so that's a lot of points here with the Falcons.
Matt Joseph. Matt's on a 49-33 college basketball sides run. And congratulations on your bowl stuff, Matt. 15-5 bowl run. Outstanding. You're wearing my favorite color, yellow mustard. Looks good. We're not doing your third game, but it is the over in the first half on the Toledo Central Michigan game. Matt, what do you got to promote?
I got a 6-pack of plays for college basketball. You just got one of them up on sportsmemo.com, and you just gave out another one. So there's 2 of them, but that's fine. There's still 4 other ones that I really like for tonight, and you can get them at sportsmemo.com.
Awesome stuff, Matt. We love having you on. Make sure to join us next week. I swear you are coming on next week. I will try to miss the show so you can actually enjoy being on. What, Teddy? What? What do you want to say, Teddy? What?
I actually thought the dating idea would be kind of funny. That might be funny.
Yes.
And I don't often give you credit for being funny, Prez.
Dude, me and Dan have already been working on it. While Matt was talking, we've got a whole plan. So yeah. Hey, You know me, dude. I'm all about the joke. And speaking of the joke, dude, I mean, Dave Sharapan joining us every
There's your
Tuesday.
segue.
Could not come up with a better segue. Dave, I'm guessing you're liking the Pittsburgh Steelers against Baltimore this coming Sunday.
I'm still dressed from last night. Are you kidding me? I'm still in celebration of
about
that
right.
whole night. Yeah, come on. You want to talk about the joke? What are you talking about? That was a great night last night. Ben Roethlisberger, last game at home. How were they a dog? Who in the hell makes these lines? Oddsmakers had Cleveland favored in January in Pittsburgh. People, that was a joke. I don't want any drama. You talking about doing a host of a dating episode thing? I think it's gold. I think it would be absolutely hilarious. And I mean, at mid-major Matt's expense, but Matt's a good guy. I mean, seriously, I don't know if he's ready for you trying to get him set up with a girl. Probably, like Teddy's right. Teddy's shaking his head. He knows. We don't want any drama. I'm glad I'm already married. I got 3 daughters. I'm good. I don't need to be involved. But if it shows on Tuesday, I'll be here, so I'll watch for sure.
So I want to ask you Mike Tomlin real quick, because Tomlin did something last night that I believe has it ever been done in the NFL with his 18th straight non-losing season for Pittsburgh?
It's unbelievable. I don't think
so. Where does
so.
Tomlin rank in the pantheon of coaching greats? Is he a coaching great? Because every Steelers fan I know still rips him. And yet his team has a winning record every year.
It's crazy because in Pittsburgh, there's only been 2 coaches since Chuck Noll, but no coach will ever be Chuck Noll in Pittsburgh. So they'll never be good enough for Pittsburgh in a lot of Steeler fans' eyes. But think about what we saw over the weekend, Teddy, and Antonio Brown getting undressed and quitting on the sideline. That was his number 1 guy for 8 years. Can you imagine what went on inside that locker room? And I mean, I know some people in Pittsburgh that still, talk about the days. Like, there was a lot of stuff covered up because they had to keep it quiet.
Sure.
I mean, he's managing a lot of personalities in that locker room between Antonio Brown, Lev Bell, and I mean, obviously Ben went through his stretch of stuff. It wasn't like there was a celebration last night, but there was a few years ago. Not that, you could do a quick Google search. He's got his own history. So I think Tomlin ranks pretty high when looking at it from outside. And when you look back and go, 18 seasons, not under 500? Any one of us in this business would sign for that tomorrow. I mean, that's really impressive to do. So I think, it took me a while to kind of come around and go, I got to give this guy credit. He keeps finding ways to win games with Ben as the quarterback and a lot of other moving parts. Now, going forward, I mean, it took a while to get from Terry Bradshaw to Ben Roethlisberger. There were some years in there with Neil O'Donnell, Tommy Maddox, Cordell Stewart, and a lot of, in between. I'm not ready for the Mason Rudolph years. I can tell you that right now. I hope they draft a quarterback soon.
Yeah. Dave, lots to talk about real quick. Yep. I'm addicted to TikTok, and I'm checking it out today. Bumped into Josh Allen's wife. She has a TikTok account.
Ooh. You all right? Can't even talk.
I mean, dude, how do we attack this final week in the NFL? So many meaningless games. Let's talk conceptually. I mean, I spoke to Teddy about this on the XM radio show, on his XM radio show last week. And I like the counterintuitive approach with totals. So if these teams have been going under all year, bet them over. That type of a concept. How should we navigate through so many games and so many of them just completely meaningless?
Well, taking into consideration the way the year has gone with the COVID steam and what's happened with guys sitting out. Now you add week 18 for the first time ever, which essentially is week 17. I know this in the book. We used to do this. We used to just say, It's 3, 4, 7, or 10. That's where the lines start. I mean, because in the games it don't matter. It's either 3, 4, 7, or 10. And I know I've done this in contests and things that I'm in where I get to pick every game. Circle all the dogs. You're going to go 500 or better. You're going to go 8 or better if you just circle the dog. So I think you have to, 1, look for reason to take the dog. 2, a lot of business decisions are being made in the last week of the season, meaning guys maybe not diving for a certain play, maybe guys looking to get these contract incentives. I think you can attack props. There's some great guys that I follow on social media that are doing the work right now, and they'll have plays for props that will be amazing because, if a guy's 80 yards away from getting a $200,000 bonus, they're going to do everything they can to get him the ball to get that bonus in games that don't matter, which the majority of the games don't. So I think you're right. I think you got to think over. I think you got to look for every reason to take the dog. And I think you have to be very, very cautious about taking a team that has to win. These teams that have to win are always laying points. And I've seen it now for years. A lot of times they don't cover the spread. So I think very cautious, very, very cautious laying the points this week.
So here's my question for you, Dave. When it comes to seeding, all right, in the media, there's a lot of talk about seeding. And, if you win this game, you're going to improve your seeding. From 25 years in this business, my experience has been that teams playing for seeding aren't as good bets as team playing for a spot in the postseason. That the seeding motivation for week 17/18 isn't real. Give me your thoughts on that.
I'd agree with you. I don't think it matters that much at all. I know it doesn't matter into making the line. It might matter into people, finding a reason to bet it. But I think results-wise, Teddy, I agree 100% with you. I would rather give me a team that is getting in or out versus a team that's going to be a 5 or a 6 seed. They ask these guys all the time, who do you want to play? They don't care. They just want to be in. So, what happens in the last week, 17, now 18, it doesn't come into their mind that much. So I think we can kind of, as bettors or people looking for a reason to make a bet, come up with a justification for it. And, this team's playing to get a better seed. I think it's a false narrative. I don't think it's important at all.
Yeah, I got a couple of more questions, but really quick.
Oh, wow.
Josh Allen's woman.
My man's
all I see
doing
is her
okay.
hair.
Let's get
we'll
a body
Google
shot
it,
for you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Slide it over. There we go. What are you doing now?
Oh my God.
What are you
Okay,
doing?
look.
Yeah, you're
3 old men. Okay, we got.
pretty sure you were. That was just lingerie there, dude. Pretty sure that was just lingerie.
It was a TikTok.
That was that other
moved into
site that he
just
Yeah. So if
lingerie.
looking at bras is making you go, you need more
Okay,
sex.
Teddy, enough with you. It was the
He's been
start of the
immersed
TikTok
in the
was her in a
hockey.
white outfit. Okay, behave.
Still coming
Anyway,
off of
Dave,
the-
Behave,
let's
you're
I got a
showing-
few. Yes, I'm not behaving. You're the behavior. I don't behave. You behave. Dave, couple of quick things.
Yes.
How do we attack a game like Buffalo, Indianapolis? Tennessee has to win, but they don't need to win by a lot. Indy, but these are huge favorites,
Yep.
and some of them, Dallas, some of them don't even need any positioning. They could lose the damn game and it would make no difference. How do we play -17 on Buffalo here?
I think that one you got to look to play the total first, right? 43 feels like that's easier to attack than 17. But I wouldn't take the Jets. I would take Buffalo or pass. There's no way I would take the Jets in that situation. How many points are they going to score in Buffalo? I got to check the weather there. Houston, I actually like. I think Houston is the dog that I would look to, take first and foremost because, one, I think they found a quarterback, and two, they're playing hard every game for him and for the coach and for the whole thing. So I think Tennessee's in a very precarious position, laying a gigantic number on the road and having to win to keep the 1 seed. I think you get Houston's best effort there, and I would look to take Houston in that one. Jacksonville, I've crossed off the list long time ago from taking the points. I mean, it would be take or nothing there, right? Like, I mean, is Indy going down there to blow them out? Indy's going down there to get by and win.
Yeah.
And
and
get in
not
the playoff.
get injured.
That's it. Like, we can't, we got to, we get a 10-point lead, 14-point lead, get everybody out of there. I mean, Wentz especially, they can't get him hurt, so I think you get that one very cautiously. And then, I mean, the rest of these games, Dallas, Philadelphia, yesterday, all the news about the Eagles and newbies, birds are all beat up with COVID now. They're not going to play. Are they going to play? Who knows? The game's in Philly. Why is Dallas playing anybody? No idea. You have a 7-point spread, road favorite with a 42 total. I mean, it would be Eagles or nothing for me there. I would have no desire to take the Cowboys in that spot. Kansas City's probably going to blow out Denver. Are they not? Like, Denver looks done to me. And they don't believe that Drew Luck's the quarterback. You can see it on the field. The players don't believe it. I don't think they're going to score nearly enough points to cover the spread. I mean, they scored 10, and they covered the first game against Kansas City, or the last game in Kansas City. Kansas City's going to destroy that team. They're going to just run it, score, and I think get the cover.
We're talking, of course, with Dave Sharapan, veteran odds maker, both here in Las Vegas and in the offshore world, at SportsBKConsig on Twitter. An excellent follow. Just a quick note, weather forecast in Buffalo for Sunday, light rain, highs in the upper 30s/low 40s. There will be some wind. Although the Jets are coming off their best running game of the season. They ran the ball all over Tampa Bay last week. I hadn't seen them do that all year long. So you've talked about all these dogs, all right? You said, any of them going to win straight up? Is this a dog on the money line type of week? Do you want the Eagles the money line or the Broncos? I'm just looking at
why not?
Miami or Jacksonville or the Jets. We have Carolina catching more than a touchdown. We have Houston catching more than a touchdown this week. We've got Seattle catching more than a TD. Lots of big dogs. Any of them going to win straight up, or is this one of these take the points, don't worry so much about the money line?
Well, you always take the points where you can get them, but I think there's definitely some dogs that are super live to win the game, right? Why not Miami? Why not, let's see, the Giants, believe it or not, against Washington. Washington's laying 6.5. No way. Atlanta at home to close out the season against the Saints, who can't score. Another live dog for sure. Cincinnati against Cleveland. I have no idea what to get from Cleveland in that game. I have no idea what I'm getting from Cincinnati either, but I know I'm not laying there. I think you can take San Francisco live against the Rams. And certainly the Sunday night game that means everything, I still can't figure out this line. I don't know why the Chargers are favored by 3. I think the Raiders are super live to win the game. Taking 3 is good, but taking the money line is even better. No, Teddy, I think dogs are super live this week. I don't know if any of the big dogs are. I mean, sure. I mean, the Jets probably should have beaten Tampa Bay last week. Could they go to Buffalo and shock the world? Wouldn't be completely out of the realm of possibility. I mean, really, it's still
yes,
possible.
It would.
You think?
No.
All right.
I have a 5% play on Buffalo winning the division. I can smell it, taste it. I can feel it in the core of my being. Don't mess with that, man. Come on.
All right.
Dave Sharapan.
Jets.
Okay.
Root against
Dave,
the guy right here.
You have a minute. Anything else? Just giggle. Giggle for us for a minute.
In preparation for the show, I glanced at the NBA today. I just wanted to mention really only one game that kind of piqued my interest. I don't understand the San Antonio line. I don't know who's playing for Toronto. I don't know if they got people in the stands there, but I know San Antonio +7 has to be a play today on anybody's card. Kind of like Indiana against the Knicks as well. 2 dogs there. A couple hockey games over for you. I don't know if you've addressed them in the presidential address coming up, but Calgary, Florida, over 6. Tampa, Columbus, over 6. And dare I say, I mean, Vegas again. We feel like we come on here every single week and Vegas plays on Tuesday, but the line's moving against Vegas. Vegas is at home against Nashville. I like Vegas to win the hockey game. There you go.
Yeah, listen. The Nashville-Vegas game, though, is interesting, Dave. Nashville's on a point run right now.
They're tremendous.
Vegas is missing a lot of guys again. This team just keeps getting injured. I actually was looking at Vegas last night, and I talked myself out of it. Great stuff, man. At Sports BK Consig, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life. Dave Sharapan, everybody.
Dave on the way out.
Sharapan.
On the way out.
Yeah.
On the way out. Come on.
Yeah. We need muscules to flex. I love the guys that wear the muscle shirts, like cut hair, and they have no muscles. Like,
what are you talking about?
Anyway, it's like a eunuch wearing a
Happy New Year.
A eunuch wearing a Speedo. Damn it! Eunuchs should not wear Speedos. Let's go. All right, what a show today. If you guys are watching this on Twitter, you missed a hell of a show at WagerTalk Today, our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV. We had Tony Mejia on. We had Matt Joseph on. We had Dave Sharapan on. Teddy gave a big game breakdown out on betting Toronto. Dave countered it with Bet San Antonio. So much happened. Check it out. As for me, 1-1 yesterday in my free picks on this segment. I'm now on an 11-4 run. I am rolling across the board, guys. I went 2-1 in NBA last night, and I won my NFL play. I've won 13 of my last 15 days of betting. I'm on a 10-3 all sports run. I have 3 college basketball plays, 1 NBA play, and 1 NHL play, a 5-pack up at WagerTalk.com. Now let's get into your 3 free picks. Florida Panthers tonight, -135. Yesterday, someone asked me, give me some teams to fade moving forward, and I mentioned the Ducks and the Kings and the Blues and the Red Wings. I think you can put Calgary on that list. I mean, I think Calgary's a better team than 3 of those 4, but I think Calgary will be a fade team moving forward for a little while. I like the Boston Bruins tonight, -1.5 at +105. That's in honor of Dave Sharapan wearing the Boston Bruins colors with the Steeler logo. And Winnipeg over the total of 5.5. That's it for me. We are in full lockdown again at 11 p.m. tonight. So I'm going to indoor golf today. Then I'm going to the gym. Then I'm playing hockey. I'm cramming it all in. But before that, I'm having a California sandwich. Teddy, take us home.
Sure, that's going to wrap it for the Tuesday edition of Wager Talk Today. Check out my $2 Tuesday 5% big ticket report in the NBA tonight if you're interested. And of course, we'll be back again tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Have you ever wanted to create your own handicapping dream team? You can now build your own superstar handicapping lineup using our Pick Your Team program at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Even more exciting, until Sunday, January 16th at midnight, you can save 15% off your Pick Your Team using coupon code PYT15 when checking out. Dave Koken, Marco D'Angelo, and Ralph Michaels, John Ryan, Joseph D'Amico, and Rocketman. The combinations are endless, and you can choose up to 5 handicappers. You start saving once you choose any 2 handicappers of your choice, and you can pay as little as under $6 per handicapper. Who will make your dream lineup? Just go to WagerTalk or Sports Memo, click Pick Your Team, and personally hand select your handicapping roster. Don't forget, coupon code PYT15 will expire January 16th, so make sure to get your 15% discount.